Words hit me like ice the moment I walked into the dimly lit apartment. The laughter echoed from the living room, and there she was, center stage, surrounded by her friends, animated and mocking. The words pierced through me like jagged glass. "He's such a joke. Can you believe him?" she said, tilting her head back and laughing as if she were auditioning for a comedy show at my expense. I froze for a moment, clutching my bag like it could anchor me in the chaos around me. The room smelled faintly of her perfume, something sweet, almost innocent, and utterly suffocating. I had known her for 8 years. We'd shared apartments, meals, arguments, quiet nights, and big vacations. And now, in one fell swoop, all that familiarity had been twisted into ridicule. It started as a normal Friday evening. I had left work around 6, tired but looking forward to our weekend. She mentioned that a few friends were coming over, and I assumed it would be casual, low-key, just drinks and laughter. I didn't realize I was walking into a trap meticulously set to humiliate me. As I stepped further into the living room, the laughter stopped for a brief second. Her friends glanced at me, half smiles playing on their lips. And then she leaned forward, eyes glinting with malicious glee. "You finally showed up. I was starting to wonder if you'd chicken out like always." The words weren't just an insult. They were a declaration of her power over the room and, apparently, over me. I wanted to respond, to explain, to defend myself, but something inside me clicked. Not anger, not despair, but clarity. I didn't need their approval or validation. I placed my bag gently on the couch, letting it drop with a soft thud. "I'm here," I said evenly, my voice calm but carrying an undercurrent that didn't exist before. Her friends exchanged curious looks, sensing the sudden shift in the atmosphere. She smirked. "Wow, calm. That's cute. Did you practice that in the mirror?" More laughter followed, but this time it didn't hurt. I realized that her words only had as much power as I allowed them to have. I took a slow breath and let my eyes scan the room. Every detail, the drinks on the table, the carefully positioned chairs, the smirks, was evidence. Evidence that this wasn't accidental, that her mockery had been rehearsed, performed, and perfected, and I had been the unwitting audience for far too long. "Do you want to explain why you feel the need to treat me like this in front of everyone?" I asked quietly but firmly. Silence rippled across the room. Her friends looked uncomfortable. Some avoided my gaze. Others stared, curious, sensing the storm brewing beneath my calm exterior. She laughed, a short, sharp sound. "Oh, come on. It's just a joke. You're too sensitive." A joke. That word bounced in my mind, but it no longer felt like an accusation. It felt like a catalyst. The joke wasn't on me. The joke was on her, on anyone who thought they could control me with ridicule. I glanced at her, really looked at her for the first time that night. Her posture, her laughter, her smug expression. It was all calculated. For months, maybe years, small digs, comments, subtle put-downs. I remembered her correcting me at gatherings, rolling her eyes when I spoke, the faint smirk that never left her face when she shared something I hadn't understood. "No more. I think you underestimated me for too long," I said, my voice measured. "And tonight changes things." Her smile faltered slightly. A flicker of unease appeared in her eyes. One of her friends whispered something, trying to defuse the tension, but I didn't give them the chance. I had decided in that instant I wasn't going to argue. I wasn't going to beg. I was going to leave. Completely, without a trace. I turned slowly, letting the weight of the moment sink in. She opened her mouth, probably to insult me further, but I didn't wait for her. I walked toward the door, my movements deliberate, calm, almost ceremonial. Every step was a declaration. I had chosen myself over the humiliation, over the ridicule, over the manipulation. As I reached the front door, I paused for a heartbeat. "I'll see you never," I said simply. No explanation, no emotion, just words carrying finality. She gasped, a mixture of disbelief and panic. "Wait, what are you doing? Where are you going?" "Somewhere I'm not a punchline," I replied, and with that, I stepped outside into the cool night air. The city hummed softly around me, indifferent to my turmoil, but for the first time in what felt like forever, I was free. free from judgment, free from manipulation, free from someone who thought her words could define me. I wandered through the streets, letting my mind untangle the knots that had been tightening for years. Every memory of her condescension, every subtle insult, every moment I had swallowed my pride for the sake of peace, it all surfaced in sharp clarity. And yet, instead of anger, I felt a strange serenity. I was no longer trapped. I was no longer participating in a story that demeaned me. I had exited the stage. By midnight, I had vanished from her life entirely. No messages, no phone calls, no explanations. I had erased my presence like a ghost slipping silently into the night. Somewhere between the neon glow of streetlights and the quiet hum of the city, I realized that leaving wasn't just an action. It was a rebirth. And so I walked away from her, away from the apartment, away from a life where my dignity had been optional. I didn't know where I would go, what I would do, or how long it would take to rebuild. But I knew one thing. I would never be the punchline again.